Und hello, my dear friends of healthy hair and skincare. Today is a special day for me as this is my first interview on my English channel. Not very, how can I say, self-explanatory, as many people shy away from this, which is understandable, but I found one guy who was frequently asked about by my viewership, and he is basically the person who is the owner, producer, and home brewer of the Fettkopp pomades. I'm very, very, very happy that he is here and he agreed for an interview in English. And we will have a bit of a special thing for you because, of course, there are new releases that he's going to present you today. And yeah, he is basically the home brewer of the strongest and most enduring and best holding pomades worldwide, especially for people who have rather very curly or very wavy hair. These pomades are always recommended. So I'm very happy to welcome Gregor Müller, Mr. Fettkopp Pomade himself. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
My first question, of course, goes to, since when do you brew your pomades, or when did you get into all this pomade business and background?
So I started with using pomades already in 2005 or 6. Used it for a couple of years before I started. I had a good friend. He was cutting my hair at home, so we had a lot of time to talk. And he asks me after I finished my master degrees in chemistry if I would like to produce and develop a pomade with him. So I said, yeah, of course, why not? It's a good idea because all the pomades I used before have been too weak, not firm enough to hold my curly hair in front. So it was like spinning all the time when you get to work or you get in a pit in the front and you would like to have your hairs looking good all the time without just combing them off every 5 minutes. So we started to develop very firm pomade that holds in position even if you go into a circle pit or if it's summertime, it's pretty hot. So we started developing it in 2012 with Marcus, a good friend of mine, and started selling it in 2013 at Race 61, and nice festival, rock and roll festival near Berlin.
Okay, so basically the next question, of course, would be, you always emphasize from the very beginning natural ingredients. I know the petrolatum is debatable, but it is very tolerable. There's basically no such substance that has so much evidence and so many studies and is studied, and is that we can now say with a 100% certainty that it is not harmful whatever way. Of course, not intake, but external use is whatever way, no harmful effect. But yeah, how did that came up? Like, was this very clear from the beginning, or was there any, like, let's call it confusion regarding the way that you wanted to go?
No, it was from the beginning. This was the idea to just stay on the basic ingredients for pomade, because we have been using pomades for a long time and we had friends losing all their hairs. We don't know if this just came from using pomades or just bad genes. Yes. And so when we thought about doing an own pomade, it was like, how can we start? And the start was only with the basic 3 ingredients, lanolin, petrolatum, and beeswax, and we just came with great recipes at the end. Yeah, after 30-40 tries, Marcos, he was a barber, he tried all the pomades, if they've been strong enough, if they have been like sticky enough to stay all hair together, and we didn't have the use for additional ingredients. Even if you use pomades for so many years, you don't want to put shit on your head and on the skin. You want to stay with your hair a long time and not just have a cheap product that sells and gives you much money. That it doesn't matter at the beginning, you know. You want to have a good product. And at this time when we started developing our pomade, we've been one of 3 or 4 home brewers, and we have been the one that that have not been using chemical ingredients beside petrolatum. But there is no good alternative, actually, I think.
True, absolutely true. The viewers of my channel know that I was almost bald when I started using pomade, and I regrew my hair naturally. So this is totally confirmable, not only by my own self-experience, but also the people that I encountered, especially with this problem. That is absolutely, how can I say, confirmable. Then I have to admit, personally, myself, I'm a huge Fettkopp fan as well. For those here, I got the strong and the extra strong. Personally, in my regular use, yeah, definitely. For my English-speaking viewership, I can say that these pomades are usually very interesting, especially for people with African hair or Latino hair that is very curly, wavy, stuff like this, and especially to straighten it or make it more like, how can I say, like more straight or in a, how can I say, European fashion, if this makes sense. What I can say after 2.5 years of testing international pomades or MAPEs or whatever, however you like to call it, is that your pomades are basically the strongest in terms of hold and volume. Only natural perfume or oils, perfume oils are used, with the exception, I think, of sandalwood. Was this like a, how can I say? By the way, and I like to mention this here, I stick to this. The scents on these pomades, always, I mentioned it in my earlier videos, always give me this nice impression and feeling of a spa type of feeling. I don't know whether this is the natural sort of nature that they originate from, or whether this was directly intended. Yeah.
No, if you use natural essential oils, beside the perfume oils. The perfume oil is only the scent you want to apply. So in case of sandalwood, it's sandalwood. But in case of patchouli, for example, you have the patchouli perfume oil is pretty different to the essential perfume, to the essential patchouli oil that has a scent of cola and sandalwood and patchouli itself. So by using only essential oils, you always have a whole bouquet of smells. And this, of course, reminds you more of the natural type beside the perfume oils.
And since you mentioned this, we got a special sort of content type today, because you actually are or have recently released a very new product, not actually already in the market, but you can show it right here. Here you go. You can show it into the camera.
It's called the Patchouli Massacre, the Patchouli Bomb.
Yeah, it's available
in strong and in soft, so in firm and less firm. Let's say this, and it's great. So of course it's patchouli. You need to like patchouli at least, but it's not that in German it's called Gufti Duft.
Yeah, it's a gothic. So it's not a gothic type of scent.
Smell.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, it's more complex. It's like a perfume.
Yeah, it's a with different exactly, with different notes and characteristics.
Yes.
And speaking of, since this year you're a full-time homemade home brewer, right?
Yeah, really. I took the chance, after working 8 years in companies and not been so let's say
we can be excited,
so happy with it. And I've been doing the pomades all the time besides. So I started a family, split the family, but I stay as a whole-time dad or half whole-time dad. So having this and having the main business and having my own company, the Fettkopp Pomade company, beside has been a very, very tough time. It's besides Corona pandemic, everybody stays at home, and it's a triple action here. And this year I try to focus only on the pomades and go on festivals and on meetings and talk with people and bring and publish new pomades like 4 times a year to have every time something new, like this Patchouli Massacre.
Yeah.
now. This more will come. There are
Yeah.
so many plans in my head that I want to go out. I want to have an oily pomade, for example,
Yeah.
because my pomades are not shiny at all. The
Oh.
beeswax is too strong.
Yeah.
I would love to have pomades for girls. I've been
Oh,
already
okay.
talking to some female customers on a Firebirds festival.
Oh, okay.
I've been to 2 weeks before, and I had some samples, and we talked a lot about it. So what you like, what you want to have, yeah. Is it a more like flowerish, or is it more like candy, or is it something completely different? It's pretty interesting
We
what came
can be
around this,
excited,
and
so to say. And new things are coming.
yeah,
Great, great, great. I
there's
love
so
it.
many
I love it.
ideas around.
I love it. And
What?
I love it. Speaking of,
Yeah.
if you like, or let's say it differently, was it always the intention to bring basically the most strong holding or most volume giving pomades onto the market, or was this some sort of a, yeah, it started and then we followed the path?
So we've been starting with the pomades because we didn't have the one we needed or we wanted on the market. So there was the uppercut pomade that worked pretty well for me, but we needed some more firm pomade. And when we tried sampling the recipe, we started with a strong. So with the one you already showed, it's a strong classic. It was the
Yeah,
first pomade of
a
Fettkopp,
great one, a great one.
followed by the extra strong. Yeah, it's a unique scent.
Yeah, absolutely.
This lemongrass is awesome. It's really awesome. I
Yeah,
like it very much.
absolutely.
But we started with this already firm pomade, and when Marcus, he was a barber in our team, so he had the knowledge of how to apply and is it applicable, and is this strong enough or is it too weak for complex hairstyling with people with,
Yeah.
let's say, uh,
Many
hard,
cowlicks or very
like
curly hair.
curly or
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty different. And so we came up with the extra strong that really is like the puck out of the metal can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard.
But let me
Or
mention,
in German, like
I already made a video about it. It's easy to get out of the tin and it's easy to apply as soon as you preparate the pomade, not like extensively. It just takes 1 minute and everything is fine. Not every
yes,
morning, just once, and then you can apply it and basically you can do whatever you like. Excellent stuff, excellent pomade.
yeah,
It will be called a puck, but basically people who are not very familiar with using pomades, but definitely, again, I made a video about it. It's very user-friendly as soon as you prepare the pomade in the right way. And speaking of, you
correct.
have an excellent homepage, not only by the Outlook, but also by the offers that you provide. And I may emphasize here on a very special occasion that people can get up from your homepage, which is basically the offer that they can choose 4 50-gram tins for the price of 30 euros. And they can like pick of each hold type or scent type they like. So they will, by 100%, I'm very sure of that, find their hold and their scent type in whatever way they desire with it. The Fettkopp pomades, which I really like, and I will definitely, by the way, guys, I'll put the links down below the video, of course, again, and you can look it up. It's absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely great. And of course, now don't forget the new Patchouli Massacre is already also available via his homepage, of course. So, but let's get back. If you have a certain goal or a target where you say, okay, I'm trying to head to, and we talked about, especially, and this is the direction that I would like to ask my question, is to make pomade more popular or more aware to people. Where do you think the problem lies, or where do you think you would pin the tag on?
It's complex. So at the first, it's the application. people need to try to. So if you use like a hair gel, it's more easy to apply to your hair. It dries and it's fixed, and that's it. You can do it with nearly every hair, but it has bad properties you don't want to have on your skin actually.
Yeah.
So the way to apply it is the first one. The way to get it out of the hair is the second one.
Yeah.
The third one will be the problem that you cannot buy pomade everywhere. Yeah, it's like in Leipzig,
Yeah.
my hometown. It's there's no store where you can go and buy a good pomade.
Yeah, true.
That it's hard. I had a friend of mine who was asking, "Oh, may I come over and like test it and push it a little bit and smell it a little bit?" I said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Since Corona, everything broke down. All the barbershops have their own pomades, not their own pomades, but they have a company. They're forced to buy this stuff,
and
all
usually the cheap stuff.
Yeah, of course. The with coconut only and microcrystalline wax, the really cheap ones. And I think this is the most the biggest problem, since nobody knows about pomade, since it has not been a high topic.
Exactly, and you know what we were talking earlier is, unfortunately, the topic of pomade is basically broken down, unfortunately, so oversimplified that the good features, apart from, you know, collecting stuff or you know, more of a good type of scent stuff, is totally vanishing behind the how can I say, the overall necessity that actually needs to be known to explain the use of pomades. But yeah, that is something that I think is the huge problem. The next problem is also the barber education, that is also not, you know, or doesn't have an integral part with substance school, so to say, or substance knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. The overall the overall conclusion for me basically is that you know, basically become, or to get pomade more popular is simply by social media or anything else.
Yes.
This is, by the way, why we're doing this interview.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, great. Exactly. But again, unfortunately, Zoom has a counter again. I'm very sorry, Gregor. But we had to finish the German interview in a hurry because we were overdoing, and to not do it now, maybe we do it in a sort of a planned state. Gregor, I'm very, very, very happy and very thankful that you took the time and did the interview with me. I think and hope that also my English viewership is very pleased, as I am, because I'm very thankful. And if you haven't done so, please check out his homepage, check out his offers. Really great. The new pomade, Patchouli Massacre, is out now. You can purchase it. It's great. I haven't done it because it's really freshly released. So thank you very much, Gregor.
Thank you.
And I hope to hear from you in the near future with also all the great products that you do. And yeah,
I hope so too.
Thank you very much and take care.
You too. Cheers.
Thank you.